December 29, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage. 2 Chronicles chapter 36 verse 1 to 14. Key verse. Verse 14. Title: The Final Kings of Judah. The people of the land took Jehoahaz the son of Josiah and made him king in his father's place in Jerusalem. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. Then the king of Egypt deposed him in Jerusalem and laid on the land a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. And the king of Egypt made Eliakim his brother king over Judah and Jerusalem, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. But Necho took Jehoahaz his brother, and carried him to Egypt. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. Against him came up Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and bound him in chains to take him to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also carried part of the vessels of the house of the Lord to Babylon, and put them in his palace in Babylon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and the abominations that he did, and what was found against him, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. And Jehoiachin his son reigned in his place. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. In the spring of the year King Nebuchadnezzar sent and brought him to Babylon, with the precious vessels of the house of the Lord, and made his brother Zedekiah king over Judah and Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. He did not humble himself before Jeremiah the prophet, who spoke from the mouth of the Lord. He also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him swear by God. He stiffened his neck and hardened his heart against turning to the Lord, the God of Israel. All the officers of the priests, and the people likewise, were exceedingly unfaithful, following all the abominations of the nations. And they polluted the house of the Lord that he had made holy in Jerusalem. Daily Bread Message. Sadly, after Josiah died, there was no king of Judah who helped the people live before God. With no one to pray for God's people, events moved rapidly toward the judgment that was coming because of Judah's idolatry. Judah began to be subject to the nations around her, starting with Egypt, who dethroned Josiah's son Jehoahaz and put his brother Jehoiakim on the throne. Then the Babylonians came, led by King Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar captured Jehoiakim and his son Jehoiachin, defiled the temple, and made Zedekiah his puppet king. Zedekiah attempted to rebel against Nebuchadnezzar, but when he did not listen to God's word, he could not succeed. What could an ordinary person in Judah do in such times? Most of them simply followed their leaders in becoming more and more unfaithful. But we know that there were a few who remained faithful, praying and preserving the knowledge of God's word. We know that because we are reading this Bible passage. They seemed to be powerless in the face of world events, but they were used greatly by God to prepare the next phase of His world salvation work. Prayer. Father, thank you that there is something I can do even in the most evil times. Help me not to follow the pattern of this world but be one light in the darkness. One word. Be faithful to the end.